Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A happy Tuesday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage Live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Thank you to everyone for listening to us live on the audio streams, edmontonsportstalk.com, iHeart, TuneIn, Apple Music. Thanks to those watching to us live on YouTube. And thank you to everyone for listening to us on podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with you as usual. And joining us today, very excited about this one, Ashley Callingbull with us here. Round of clicks.
We do rounds of clicks.
Love that.
Yeah, Jamie
Ashley is
brought
with
this
us
in.
here.
Yeah.
Ashley, thank you. Welcome. Good to see you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I do like that jacket, by the way, the whole Elvis jacket.
Oh, thank you. I
It
love
is sharp.
Elvis. It's
Okay.
from Roots of Fight, and it's a brand that makes really cool sports kind of memorabilia, jackets and clothing, everything.
Elvis fan.
I'm a big Elvis fan.
So have you gone to
Graceland?
Oh, you betcha.
Oh, really? How was that?
Really surreal. It's kind of just like, oh, I'm here. This is where he did this. This is where he did that. This is where he went to the bathroom. I'm just
He
kidding.
died. He died there in the bathroom, right? That's yeah.
It's haunted.
Is it actually?
I don't know. You just get those vibes, right? Like heaviness. Is this turning into a spooky talk?
Oh, no.
now?
Oh, I was just trying to think, like, do we believe? Where do we all sit on hauntedness and spookiness?
I don't know, man.
I believe in
Yeah.
ghosts, 100%. Spirits, everything.
I kind of believe a little bit in it too. I'm not gonna lie. I think there are certain spots they're haunted. There's just things we can't explain.
100%.
Like Hotel Mac has wasn't it horses?
What?
You could hear the horses.
Running
Yes.
or trotting around.
Something like I can't remember who. Like there's horses that died. I think maybe was there horses that were like part of the construction or something like that died or something. But you could hear like the galloping or something of horses.
Come on.
I think that's the story of Hotel Mac.
Yeah, even in Banff, too, they have stuff
Or
like
that's
that.
the one maybe then.
That's the one where they have
the
like,
horses.
a dead bride and stuff like that. But the Charles Camsell Hospital that I was born at here in Edmonton,
Yeah.
that is super haunted. But apparently they're turning into something else now.
It's like condos now.
Yeah, so now people are going to live there.
Get every holy man from every denomination in there to fix it.
Is that hospital that's just like kind of like in the middle of the residential areas that is like been closed
Like
off?
by
for
Westmount?
times?
Yeah, by Westmount. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There's I like every so often, like I'll see on TikTok or something, people like going into those type of buildings, walking around with it all closed, and you're like, this is weird.
Have you watched Ghost Adventures
No.
on Discovery?
No.
It is it's like dude bros and they get like all the gadgets and stuff, and you know that they don't really know what they're doing, and then they'll do a lockdown in a haunted place that has like a history, and they'll use they have like this thing. It's like, it looks like an Xbox, but it can like track things that aren't there. They have like this paranormal puck, they call it. I've watched a lot of episodes.
Yeah,
because
clearly.
I'm conflicted. I'm like, well, first of all, they're funny. They're just like big dude bros, and they're like, dude, bro, did you hear that? Did you see that? What was that? And they have all these gadgets, and I'm like, they don't know what they're doing. And
They're just props.
maybe, yeah. And they like go into night vision mode, and one of them, the lead guy, Zach Baggins, who created the show, like I think they're in like 15 seasons. He has a haunted museum in Vegas, and you can go to it. Yeah, and someone went there recently, and they're like, yeah, it's trippy. And I'm like, I don't know if I could do that.
Whenever I see stuff like that, I just make sure I don't touch anything. I'm like, I don't want to touch anything and bring bad vibes.
You don't want to carry it with you.
Yeah. Or I don't want to take something with me. I'm like, nope, nothing's following me home.
Okay.
Hotel Mac, 1914, during the hotel's construction, one of the workhorses tragically collapsed and died. Now the ghostly horse is said to gallop through the 8th floor halls and occasionally could be heard in the hotel's basement.
Oh, come on.
That's the story of the
The
Hotel
horse?
Mac. Yeah.
The 8th floor, huh?
The 8th floor. Don't know why the
Only
8th
the
floor.
Don't go on the 8th floor.
8th floor of the basement. That's it. If you're on the 7th floor and you hear galloping, you're just crazy.
You're crazy.
But if it's the 8th floor, it's haunted.
Okay, this text came into the text line, 780-218-9999. The General Hospital downtown is for sure haunted. I was born there.
That's why it's haunted.
Round of clicks for Ashley on that one. Round of clicks.
I don't even want to give her a round of clicks for that one. Thanks, Ashley. Ouch.
That was great. That was really well
You
done.
enjoyed that.
Were you going to continue? Do you have anything else, or did you just forget your train of thought
just
now?
put in my place, so.
Okay, it's haunted.
Yeah, whatever.
Where I was born is haunted too, you know.
Well, hospitals, there's a lot of stuff going on at hospitals.
Yeah, I always get just. Ugh.
Yeah,
I don't like going to hospitals at all. Like I just hate that feeling, that vibe. It's just, you know, death. Like,
hospitals just. I feel like you go and you're like, I'm gonna get sick now. Like I don't know what's floating around.
So much
it's sterile.
Good
Like there's a
point.
lot of rooms that are like that, but still there's also, and I just feel like I'm gonna get sick, and it's not fun necessarily going to the hospitals for the majority of the reasons.
No. Now, okay. This kind of on the same topic, and you don't really think about it, but hotels, the stuff that goes on at hotels that we don't know about is kind of trippy. Like, have you...
Like in rooms? Or is that what you're talking about?
yeah.
I do not want to see a black light of any room I'm ever staying in a hotel.
Well, it's not just that. It's like, in Vegas, this is grim, but like,
okay.
They're like, if you notice like new paint or new wallpaper or something along those lines, it's like they probably had somebody go in and fix up that room because somebody killed themselves in there or something happened like that. And like Vegas is like a destination for that because like people will take all their money and they'll be like, that's it. I'm ending it. And so I told you it was like very grim, but apparently like, it's like, we're staying at the Cosmo. We're going to have a great time. We got a suite.
Oh my God, my room's upgraded.
Yeah,
and
my room's upgraded. It's like,
I am never going to look in an updated room ever again. They're like totally refurbished. I'm like, wow, thanks.
I want your least updated room. Which one haven't you touched in decades?
Yeah.
That's the room I need.
oh, hey, when I was still traveling with the Oilers, we stayed, I don't think they stay there anymore, at the Four Seasons above Mandalay Bay. And it was like a couple months after the shooting happened in Vegas. And my room was a couple floors up and down the hallway from where that guy was shooting people. And I could see, and they still had like the stage and everything set up. And it was very trippy and creepy. I had to close my curtains. I'm like, oh, and you're in like a 5-star hotel. And it's just like that juju.
I think they blocked that off now.
That room?
I think it's like made like, if I'm not mistaken with that one, they made it like a hall at the end of a hallway or something like that.
Good.
Where they've redone it. It's like no one can even like try to figure out. No one can even try to figure out the room even if they change the numbers around or something to find that room. They're not getting that room.
Good. It's a great hotel otherwise, but like,
yeah, crazy stuff.
we went to a dark place to start this show.
Well, I do think there's an Edmonton like haunted. I think there is an Edmonton haunted tour that you could take.
Yeah, they
I
have the
would
ghost
love
tours.
that. I would always try to scare myself and drive by the hospital that I was born at to see if I would hear anything.
Really?
Right? And sometimes you'd hear things or like hear screaming, and I'm like, there can't be anyone in there. And it looks so blocked off. I don't know how people would even break into that hospital. It looks very blocked off unless you're like really climbing and you're a great climber, but just creepy. A lot of
People
people
find
die there.
ways.
Yeah.
It is true. Like squatters and stuff too.
Yeah.
EdmontonGhostTours.com. They do an old Strathcona ghost tour apparently. Oh, they also do one of the U of A. There's also a haunted pub tour.
That sounds like fun, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're actually quite
You'll forget you're even there for like to check out hauntings. You're just having a good time on a pub
drinking
tour.
a bunch of beer and stuff. There's one in a cemetery that they do, a walking tour. Actually, that sounds like fun.
Is that not the one on 107th Ave?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Mount Pleasant Cemetery.
That real big one. That's by kind of that European looking area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the one.
I'm like, this is weird to drive through a cemetery all the time. Like,
Do you know that Yellowhead Trail, like that underpass 97th Street, that used to be part of the cemetery, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, someone told me that. I can't remember who, but they're like, this was the the graveyard. And you're like, oh, trippy.
driving.
Yeah.
So what did they do with?
Just move people. So Graceland.
Yeah. Yeah, magical.
Right?
Elvis, the king.
Yeah, I love
Favorite
Elvis.
song?
I don't know.
Is that one where it's like you can't pick your favorite? There's like 4 or
and
5
and
type
it's-
thing
and
because
it's
that's
because
tough.
like I grew up like listening to Elvis because my grandparents both loved Elvis.
Mm.
So I think, and I'd have Elvis purses, Elvis everything. I don't know. I liked him when he was younger, but not when he got older.
Yeah.
You liked his early stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were into the early stuff.
Before he
Suspicious
let
Minds. That's my favorite one. Suspicious Minds.
Ooh.
I don't know if I know like names of any of his songs. Like the actual, like if I heard songs, I would know it's him. I have I have his Christmas album on, like, or him like doing Christmas on vinyl.
Of course you do.
I think it was my mom's. I think I have a couple of actually Elvis vinyls. I just don't know any of the names just off the top of my head, unfortunately.
Suspicious Minds you would know for sure because it's like super popular. And then if you watch the music video, there's a music video of him and like that's when he had like the twirling and the going down the ninja kind of stuff.
I just loved him. Have you ever watched that Elvis movie that came out with
Austin Butler?
Yeah.
Which like he messed his voice up because of that?
Yeah. And then his voice always kind of stayed like that.
Yeah.
Elvis. Like, oh yeah.
He had to go to a
Like-
speech therapist to help him lose that voice.
Really?
Because he was speaking like Elvis so much that he started just always talking like Elvis. He couldn't get rid of it. And then he had to go to a speech therapist to help him train himself to not speak like Elvis a bit. He was great in Dune too.
That actually was a really good movie. I just watched it for the first time just recently.
The first one or the second?
Both of them.
Yeah. It's, oh yeah.
You know
this
this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Can't Help Falling in Love. Yeah, I would
That's a
know
good
that
one.
one. I think I know Jailhouse Rock. Oh yeah.
of course.
Yeah, again, I just didn't know the names of them.
There you go.
But like once
pause
you
this.
hear it, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There it is. There's a good one. No, Dune was great. I'm looking forward to Dune Messiah. They're doing the third
I was
part now.
pissed at the end of Dune 2. I was like, there's another one. I was like, I feel like this is Lord of the Rings. The shows are so long and I'm like, I just want to get to it, but it's so worth it. But I just hate waiting.
Okay, like are we dissing Lord of the Rings here? Or are we all in
I'm
on Lord of the Rings?
obsessed with Lord of the Rings. I can
Perfect.
actually do a perfect imitation of Gollum. No joke.
Do you want to do it?
Well, I think that you can't be
You
like, I
can't
do
tee
a
it up
perfect
like that.
imitation of Gold and then just like I'm not doing it.
Believe it or not. Okay.
Our master will never take precious from us. Master cares about us. No, no. Master wants the precious for himself.
That is brilliant. Well done.
I'll do a round of clicks for that. All right.
Never judge a book by its cover.
Wow. Elvis, Gollum, Dune. Never would have had Ashley as a Dune fan.
That is a dead on Gollum.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's I'm
My
very
party trick. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Oh, Lord of the Rings is amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great trilogy that they have. And like I hope they never touch it. I hope
know.
that's not a movie that like
They try to redo
10, 20, 30 years from now, like we're going to do it ourselves. Like, no, Peter Jackson nailed it. They nailed it. Leave it. Leave it. It still holds up.
I mean,
like,
even,
graphic-wise.
the quality of everything when you're watching it, like, it's so different when you watch movies now with CGI. It just seems cheap because they have machines doing everything, and as opposed to people that would go so into detail. That's what I miss.
Well, it's even like if you go into The Hobbit and you watch, like the CGI of that, you're like, it does lose something.
Yeah.
And then you compare it to Lord of the Rings or like Jurassic Park still holds up
Yes.
to
Yeah.
this day.
Yeah.
It is
Yes.
outstanding.
Yeah. Still scares me.
Does it?
Classic. Great movies.
Dinosaurs. I'm just like, imagine. Like, but my biggest fear is zombies. Like, that is my biggest fear out of anything in the world is being chased
By
people.
zombie.
That's why I never liked tag.
Okay. Oh, really? You didn't like Tag?
I don't like that
A
feeling.
terrified young Ashley because she's like, zombies attacking,
I hate
zombies
Tag.
attacking.
It's like imagine.
Love
like,
Lord of the Rings. Everything's haunted. But I listen to Elvis 24/7. We're learning so much today.
just don't chase me.
No, don't say, okay. Okay, I want to get into zombies. The EST Hangout is presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada storage experts, more than 2 decades helping Canadians through life transitions. Canadian storage provider Sentinel.ca, 75% off 8 weeks, 10 by 10 units, extended until March 31st by Canadian. They probably have some storage units that are haunted and stuff.
Hey, okay.
I bet if you go around some of those Sentinel, there might be things.
I have a storage unit. I don't want it to be.
Well, I didn't say
Yours is probably fine.
I actually have one of my suits hanging up in the middle because I don't want it to fall.
Right.
So whenever I open it up, I'm like, oh God, I think it's someone hanging there. I scare myself every single time. I forget
You
it's
put it
there.
there.
You might need a note or something,
know.
like on your lock or something. Don't get scared. That's all you have to
I
write.
forget every time, and I open it up. I'm like, oh. I just leave it.
Okay.
Zombies.
Let's get to zombies.
Okay, because there's 2 types of zombies. There's the fast zombies and the slow zombies.
The World War Z style zombies.
Those are scary.
Or Resident Evil, 28 days later, 28 weeks later, whatever it's called.
Isn't it both?
Yeah, both
Wasn't
of them.
Weeks Later like
Which
the sequel?
One was first. Was it 28 weeks later was first, and then 28 days later was second because they talked about the beginning of where it started?
28 days later.
I'm
something?
confused.
28 days later was the 2002.
I can't remember.
28 weeks
they
later is
making a new one?
2007.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I did
So
something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I never seen
but-
those ones.
Oh,
But
I hate
if
it.
one was an intro, like almost a prequel, it makes sense to watch that one first.
and I just don't. They're fast, right?
Yes.
And they're just always hungry. Like it doesn't matter. They can't think. They just super strength, super speed. That like World War Z style, where they'll just. You saw how they piled up against the wall. Like that's
Yeah.
outrageous. Outrageous.
Dawn of the Dead. They're fast in that one too.
Yeah.
You don't mess with them.
Don't mess with them and done it. But like Walking Dead, they
They're
were
real
slow.
slow. See, I feel like there I have a chance.
Yeah, Walking Dead slow.
Yeah.
Last of Us, they're fast.
But those are clickers.
Yes, there's difference to
Yeah.
them, but they're still zombies.
I played Last of Us before the show came out. Like
Yeah.
I got it with my PlayStation, and I would end up playing till like 4 a.m, and I would get tripped out. Like you'd get spooked by one of those, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go to bed. This is tripping me out.
That's a good show. Last of Us.
Yeah, it is.
a couple of weeks until it comes out.
Yeah.
I went into with no spoilers for the first season because I never played the game. Although Zach gave it to me, and I still just haven't played it
it's a
yet.
great game. It's like a movie.
I already know the spoiler though of season 2.
Oh yeah, it's
I
a
know
big
that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm excited for it. Filmed in Vancouver, I think this season though.
I know.
And they filmed it in Calgary last.
And a little bit in
here, too.
Edmonton.
Yeah,
A couple of the
and-
early episodes had Edmonton.
It would be interesting. I'd be like, hey.
The
I
ledge
know
is
that.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be like, hey.
Rice Howard Way, a
104,
little bit of 104th.
108th.
I can't remember what the small town in like near Calgary that they used for that one scene or the one episode with that little village.
Was it like Fort McLeod?
Maybe.
They did Ghostbusters in Fort
Yeah.
McLeod. I love Ghostbusters.
Okay, but where zombies? What would your plan of attack be?
Oh, I don't know.
It's the I'm like, I always talk about this. I'm like, if it was the fast ones, like where no one has a chance, I always say like, I don't know, man. I don't want to die that way. Like I might have to just take myself out before they get to me because I don't want to be bit. I don't want to be chased. But if it's the slow ones, I have a chance. I'm really good with guns and stuff, like, and but other than that, no, I wouldn't want to be taken out by a zombie. So
I feel like
last.
either North Alberta, I'd want open prairies, farmland where no one's around me. I could see anyone coming, or heading to the mountains.
yeah.
I don't like they're fast. Are they going to be able to be fast in
Can
the
they
mountains?
swim? What about a moat?
Oh.
It depends how deep it goes.
28 weeks later, they can't swim.
They can't
No,
or can?
They can't.
They can't.
I don't think, but like they'd be able to walk through it. Like I guess where you'd have to go warm climates. If it freezes, they could walk over the frozen water.
Yeah, that's right. Good point.
That's where like I feel like mountains, they're not running that fast. Like they're gonna slip or something. I'm cabining it up somewhere in the mountains.
Yeah.
And then you're battling the elements too.
True.
Yeah, but we're Albertans.
What's
Can
that
you
mean?
hunt? Can you
I'll
hunt?
learn. I'll have to learn somehow.
I could see him becoming an expert trapper.
I think I'd be able to get a few things. I'd maybe figure out a few
I
things.
think that would be everyone's first option would be like, go to the mountains somewhere. Everyone would be going to the mountains.
Well,
Then that's what I feel like it's also then just north in Alberta, North Saskatchewan. Try to find a land where no one's around, but then I could see everything.
Okay, you know what I always thought would be like the best place to go for a zombie apocalypse, and you could just like live there for years?
I hope you're not going to say what I think you're going to say.
Costco.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought you were going to say. Everyone has that idea.
Right.
That's where everyone would go for all their supplies.
They're all going to murder each other.
Yeah, that's true.
There's only like 7 Costco's in Edmonton?
Which is a lot of
How many people in Edmonton would have the idea of, I'm going to go to Costco?
Perfect. I'm going to stock up now. I just see that in movies where people are fighting, stabbing each other, killing each other, stealing each other's cars.
You need to go to a small town, leave.
Yeah.
You need to be away from people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to get murdered by some other human.
I become the mayor of Costco.
Yeah, you would be murdered by a human, not a zombie.
Well, thank you. Oh my goodness.
Well, the Costco is just like everyone, there's all this stuff there, but everyone has that exact same idea. You can't do the
I thought
city.
I was brilliant coming up with that. A bunch of texts have come in. This is great. 780-218-9999. Dwight Yoakam did Suspicious Minds. He redid it. Okay. And then that's from Shanzi. Andrea texts in and says, Last of Us had some very fast ones. I can't wait for season 2. Jason says, I Am Legend. Great movie. I love that dog.
Yeah.
The dog. Yeah.
I think they're doing a sequel.
No.
Come on.
I think there
Why?
are.
It was so good the way it just ended like that. You know?
Well, there's a second. If you have the DVD, there's an alternate ending they do.
Is it
What?
sad?
Did you say DVD?
Yeah, back in the day.
Do you guys know what a DVD is?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
trying to tell my sister what a VHS was before. She's like, a what? I'm like, and I'm like, do you know what cassette players are? What? Walkman? What?
Oh, I had all of that.
Yeah.
I had.
Where are we at?
Are you in the
July 25th, 2024, they announced the second draft has been written. One day later, some guy reported was in talks to direct the sequel of I Am Legend. Oh, March 2022, it was officially announced Will Smith would reprise his role. Michael B. Jordan was also set to star. The film will follow up on the alternate ending rather than the theatrical.
Really?
Well, Will Smith died
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But why is he back in it then?
because they're using the alternate ending. He didn't die in the alternate ending.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was
okay.
the ultimate ending?
Did the dog still die?
That's what I'm curious.
Let me see.
Dog.
I could care less about the ending.
I just know that Will Smith survived, but the dog, I believe, still passed.
What I don't
we will
get,
say.
it was like in the ending. Spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't watched I Am
been
Legend.
out for like 20 years.
I'm just trying to say 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost
For
20
anyone
years.
that
So
has not
sorry.
seen it.
Forever.
Too bad for you.
Yeah.
Spoiler, since everyone's talking about it. It's the hottest thing. What I don't get is when he throws the bomb, or he's holding the bomb and he jumps up to make it explode. He puts that guy, the daughter, or the son and the mom in the little shelter area. He could have fit in there too. Then he could have just threw the bomb.
I thought about that.
But
Yeah.
it was just a selfless act. His last hurrah because he
Yes.
had nothing else to live for anyways.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, there was room in there, guy.
It's just
like-
Jack and Rose.
Exactly.
There was room on the door.
So when they attack the lab, the Darkseekers, the alpha male creates a butterfly shape while attempting to break through the glass. Neville, which is Will Smith's character, realizes it's referencing the butterfly-shaped tattoo on the female Darkseeker's neck, and the alpha male and his followers are just simply trying to recover his mate. Neville puts his gun down, returns the female. Neville and the alpha male stare each other down. Neville apologizes after seeing the latter emotionally respond to his mate's return. They then just depart. Once they're gone, a shocked Neville looks over at the many pictures of his test subjects and realizes he's become a monster in the eyes of the infected, showing remorse for the experiments he's undertaken over the years. The next morning, he abandons his research and heads to Vermont with the two of them.
He felt bad for the zombies.
That in the end, the alternate ending is Will Smith was the evil one to the zombies because he kept stealing them and torturing them in their eyes. So in their eyes, he was the bad guy.
Oh, that is a terrible alternate
Yeah, I
ending.
hate it.
Yeah.
And so now there's,
I'm I hate it.
and the dog's still dead.
Yeah.
So
I really hate
in
it.
the end, but this is how they're going to build it, which it's a kind of hard to do a sequel off that because I don't know how many people actually know about the alternate ending. So anyone who's watched the
Spoiler
first
alert.
one, but anyone who's watched the original would go in going like, Will Smith's dead. This doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah.
What?
People don't forget.
They would have to start with the alternate ending. Previously on I Am Legend.
I don't think they should just have Will Smith in it at all. Then
I agree with
Ashley. It
Ashley on
doesn't
this.
make sense. I'm like, is Will Smith back in now? Like in society after that whole craziness too?
The slap.
He did the
'Cause
TikTok.
he's doing things now.
He did the
you know?
TikTok with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air TikTok.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, so
He's back
it's
in.
all good.
Are you aware of the TikTok?
I missed the TikTok.
There's the dance. I forgot what the
That
song's
his
called.
sister does, and she's just like dancing in her room, and then he comes back and
Oh,
dances
yeah,
behind
yeah,
her. Yeah.
And now it's a trend on TikTok because people are playing a certain song and they have their
That's when
headphones and they're
jazz
dancing.
is-
And then you walk in behind and you start dancing and then you both turn around and the person who was originally dancing like is like, what? And then you just keep dancing away.
So he did that on TikTok.
They
and that's his
recreated
announcement.
that scene
Yeah.
with the artist who they're using the song of. I forgot what song is being used.
So he's back. That's his way of saying I'm back.
Oh, I don't want to.
I'm back.
Dave in Section T texting says where the filming was near Highwood, an abandoned
That's what it was.
subdivision because of the contamination from the flood. Great episode. That's going back to The Last of Us.
I got to do the rewatch because it's coming back soon. I got to crush season one.
rewatch the whole. That's what I did with just rewatching like White Lotus before it came out.
Are you a White Lotus fan?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually at the premiere, the Canadian premiere. And
Really?
they put our phones in the bags and everything where we can't like take pictures. I was like,
Wow.
God, it's so good. It's so good.
You got to go to the premiere of the White Lotus
She
here
gets
in
to do
Canada.
all kinds
That
of
is
cool
amazing.
stuff.
I love that show.
I was just like, this is epic.
There's no one else around here that likes it. I
Well,
don't think.
Jasmine, who's not here, loves
Jasmine
White
likes it.
Lotus.
I
You
can't
guys talk.
talk.
I have no
Quinn
idea what's
likes it
going
when
on.
she was here. Did you watch this week?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Holy.
there's only 2 episodes left.
I know. It's like Mike White, he like pushes things to the point where like no one else would, but makes it okay and like for you to watch. And you're like, okay. But he pushes to the limit. And I like that. Not being afraid and, you know, acknowledging certain things. And it's shock value too. But you're invested in these people's lives now on the show. You got to watch it.
Great
I'm
writing
interested.
too. Just Chelsea's quote was, "I don't think there's enough any drug in the world that would have me hook up with my brother."
Yeah.
But I don't judge.
But I don't judge.
It's just brilliant. Oh, and he gets the best out of those actors and actresses. Like they have like there's so many of these of the actors actresses that I'm just like, you're getting nominees for Emmys. Like who's gonna win? Jason Isaacs has been just brilliant through this whole series.
And there's so much range from all the actors throughout like the episodes. It's not just one level of dynamic. It's just like so many different ranges for them. I'm like, I love this show.
Patrick Schwarzenegger it was all
surprised.
facial this
Yeah.
past episode for that early part, and he was just crushing it
Yeah.
with him trying to figure out what happened. And they figured out what happened, and
You feel what they're feeling. And you gotta get into
I'll
it.
get into it. I'm
It's-
intrigued by it. I just never think of it.
it's
And then you get into even just the intro of the show, like the song. At first, the first time I heard season 3, I was in like, you know, at the premiere, I'm like, different. It's almost like a polka house, Thai kind of vibe. But now I'm really into it. Whenever I hear it, you never skip the intro.
Nope.
Ever.
Really?
season 2.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone loved it.
I'm an intro skipper.
No, this is what
You
like
won't.
You can't?
I don't know.
won't want
there's a
to?
couple
Okay,
shows that
okay.
I've never, like Sopranos was one I never skipped the intro. That was like a 2-minute long one too. This is one you don't skip. So the first season was good. Everyone liked it. But then season 2, they took it to another level with the Italian side to it. And there was like, what are they going to do for season 3? And everyone was so disappointed after the first episode of season 3 because they completely abandoned the first 2 seasons. And I think there was a lot of like the biggest reviews on that first episode was about the theme song.
Right.
But I was like, oh, it's not the same. But I'm with you. I think, and most people, as the seasons progressed, I'm in on that song. 2 is still the best one, but 3 really is a banger too.
I like it. It's like polka house.
Yes.
I feel like I'm missing out on something.
Just
here.
the intro in itself
Okay.
is all you're missing out on. And it's just, the intro is beautiful. the artistry that they use with it also is just nice.
And they give away a lot of different things. Like you can't figure it out right away until you watch the whole series. But they give away different things in the intro with the pictures, the drawings, and everything relates to something. I love that about Mike White is that everything relates to something.
I just remembered, I realized one of the connection from the season 2, which I never put together. Interesting.
What?
Well, I just I don't want Ethan's character, Ethan, and what was Megan Fahey's character? I forgot her name because it was Cam
And the wife.
Yeah, and I'm forgetting Megan Fahey's character. I forgot her name, but her and Ethan head off at the end of.
I know,
and they go into, and no one knows.
No one knows if they hooked up or
not.
not.
But there's a thing in the intro where there's kind of a hookup in the side.
Oh.
And now I'm actually just putting the 2 and 2 together.
Oh. Now I'm just gonna rewatch it.
Again. That one I could find very it was. I've never put the 2 and 2 together there for that one. It is a great, and what is fascinating about the show too is again you could start season 3 without having watched 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's one storyline that you'd be like, I don't know what's going on with this. What have I missed?
It to you.
But everything else brand new. Completely brand new.
Okay, I'll watch it, but I'm the type that my OCD personality would be like, okay, start from the beginning. So I'd go right to season 1. I did that with Game of Thrones.
Well, yeah, you have to do that.
Well,
you can't go right to the last season.
I got into Game of Thrones in season 2. I watched it was midway through the season. I watched one. I'm like, this actually looks pretty good. And then so I had to track back, and I went all the way to the beginning. And that first episode, I was like, oh my God. This show's great.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe you started season 2.
But I didn't know because I had heard about it, but I'm always behind on pop culture and stuff like that. And I was watching it and I'm like, okay, this is neat. And this is what everybody's watching. And I'm like, now I'm interested. So I watched that one episode, which was midway through season 2. And then I just went back to the very beginning, that night. And I started watching the episodes and then I just loved it from there. I didn't even mind the end. I was just like, okay, I'm satisfied.
How do you feel about the ending of Game of Thrones?
Okay, it's fair to...
I've never seen the show.
Great show.
Personally.
Great show. It's fair to critique... Because the war is so dark, you can't really see what's going on. That's totally fair to critique that. And I know they use a lot of CGI and all that. I kind of knew that somehow Bran would be important in the end.
Yeah, the guy that just sits on his ass the whole time.
Yeah, because he becomes the new Raven, right?
And I know that he can't do anything, but it's he just rides through the whole season.
Exactly.
All the seasons just rides right through, and then he's in charge at the very end. And I just
because the reason why is because they kept him around. I'm like, why isn't Bran dead yet? Hodor dies. Remember Hodor?
Mm-hmm.
I loved Hodor. And they so many people sacrifice themselves because he loses the function in his legs. He gets paralyzed. First episode of the show, he catches his aunt and uncle.
Haven't.
That's the HBO has crossed that boundary a few times.
It was whoa, okay. And so he falls out of the castle. Spoiler alert. And he's paralyzed from the waist down. And obviously, the show went on for a long time. So he got older and. I'm like, why is he how is he surviving?
Yeah, he survived every situation he was in, and he can't walk.
Yeah.
He has people bringing him around, but he still survived all these crazy things, but was able to see what was coming ahead too, but still survived crazy situations that he shouldn't have, and in the end is their king.
Yep.
Which drove me nuts.
But you could, I knew something. I'm like, there must be a reason why he's lingering around because a bunch of his brothers and sisters die. His mom and dad dies. And then he just, survived. And I'm like, this doesn't, he's got to have some kind of important meaning. And then, he becomes the king at the end, which was okay. I was fine with it. I know a lot of people. And then, Jon Snow killing, what was her name?
It just killed me. Because I wanted her to always be good, but then she just turned dark.
That was insane.
She turned so dark when she had that opportunity. She could just, call it a day.
But Jon Snow was
instead she burnt the whole city to the ground.
Yeah, the Queen of the Dragons. What was her name? Oh God, do you remember the name?
Now I'm having a brain fart.
Oh, me too. But anyway, she
had 2 names.
She was Jon Snow's aunt. So he was hooking up with his aunt.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Again,
Daenerys Targaryen. That's it.
HBO's not afraid to cross those boundaries.
And in the first few seasons, like they would show her like hooking up with whoever. And then the actress, I think, was like, okay, no mas.
Khaleesi, that's what I keep thinking of her. I'm like, yeah, she has 2 names, doesn't she?
Yep.
Khaleesi.
Yeah. And she's mother of dragons.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't judge it the way other people did. I was just like, what's going to happen this week? And I took it all in.
Mm-hmm.
So when it ended, I'm like, okay, good. It's like finishing a book, satisfaction. I didn't even get into House of Dragons. I don't care for it.
I've heard great things about House of
So
Dragons.
have
Got
I.
into it.
You like it?
It's all right. Yeah, I like it. We'll see what happens.
It's still going?
Well, I thought there was going to be another season coming out. Is there not?
I don't know. I just was like very satisfied. I'm done with Game of Thrones.
I liked it because it gave me like, it's obviously the prequel of like what happens before. So I wanted to see. I liked it. It was good, but obviously nothing is ever going to be as good as.
OG.
Yeah.
So here's that part of that intro where, again, Megan Faye's character and Ethan just, I feel like this is now so we cut away to, not that one, cuts away to this guy, but then in the rocks. And they went into the rocks.
Oh, yeah.
So that kind of, I hit that one. Okay, apologies for those, no spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Clever.
Turn down your radio if you have. Who do you think's dead? If you had to guess right now.
I'm guessing hard. So I was hoping it's not Parker Posey's character because I love her so much.
She's great.
I'm just trying to think like if it's going to be shock value, it's going to be someone of that shock value.
The only thing is, I guess, well, I think everyone was expecting Tanya to die last season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And like, I'm thinking it also might be one of the brothers.
Well, so I listened to a podcast that is like a rewatch, and one of their theories is because in season 1 there was the poisonous fruit,
Yeah.
and now Saxon has the blender, which is that he's going to either accidentally or somebody's accidentally going to put that fruit into the blender, or maybe he's going to feed it to Lachlan.
Yeah. Well, it's like a weird dynamic between them two now because of what happened.
Yes.
I don't want to give that away, you guys.
No,
but,
we're not giving that one away.
It's just, I could see them not having a normal relationship ever again.
I don't think you can.
I'm like, I don't think, like, how do you move forward?
I don't think there's any way you can move forward with that one. That one kind of is just what it is.
That last episode, that shocked the hell out of me. But even the episode before that with Sam Rockwell, where it was just phenomenal, but it was a crazy monologue. And even the other actor, the way he was just reacting.
Walter Goggins.
Walter Goggins and Sam Rockwell are in it?
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell's a surprise
awesome.
one too.
Yeah.
No one was expecting it.
Yeah.
And he showed up and he had one of the most crazy 5-minute monologue you'll ever hear in television.
Sam Rockwell, by the way, he was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the original. He was a part of the Foot Clan. Just a little tidbit there. When he goes on Fallon, he always dances. Did you know that?
I just watched a video
I think
of
that's
that this
great.
morning too. He dances every time he goes on.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then he was great in Jojo Rabbit. I just have a good appreciation for him. So him and then Walter Goggins is just great. So they're in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll watch it.
You have to.
Yeah, those are good actors.
That scenes, epic. You're just.
Did you get into Fallout?
No, I've never watched.
Oh, it's awesome. It's a neat show.
I'm just starting now to watch The Boys.
How do you
I've heard
like
good
it?
things about that one.
My brother loves it.
And first episode, I was like, oh my God. I was like, why haven't I watched this before? It's so
Okay.
gory and wild.
It's like anti-superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The superheroes, like if this were real life, like they don't have to be nice. They could be whoever they want to be. And it's almost like the world we're living in now where everything's on social media and like what people see. You've never seen this?
Nope.
What's
I know
the
of
main
it.
guy,
I just
Highland? No,
not Highlander. No. Is it?
something like that. But he's like a real POS,
He's
right?
a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reed Wilkins in the Nasty Chat with a few comments. House is very good. Great acting and writing.
Homelander.
House was very good, by the way. He goes, Fallout, very good. Oh, The Boys, what a show. He put that in all caps. So he loves that show.
It's so good.
Big Uke, say spoiler alert, wait 0.08 seconds before talking spoilers. No, I said spoiler alert, and then I asked the question, so there was time to turn it down. They say, who do you think dies?
We're getting text.
Come on,
being like,
thank you.
Careful with your spoiler alerts. Leduc Aaron says, of course.
Guesses.
Right now, we're just guessing.
We're guessing.
We actually haven't talked about anything really from last episode. Oh, we actually haven't said anything.
What was that intro from? From last episode or season?
That intro is from season 2.
Oh,
Yeah, and the
okay,
intro's
my
all
bad.
stay
Yeah,
the
I don't
same,
know.
but that's that Ethan that we're talking about. That was season 2.
Okay.
If I'm not spoiling season 2, should have watched it.
It already happened.
It 2 years, you had a year and a half to watch it.
If you haven't seen I Am Legend.
Just spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, Leduc Aaron says, of course he rolls around. He's in a wheelchair. Talk about Bran Stark. And then this one says, Bran Stark survived because Bran is important to healthy bowels. Hilarious. No name on that text. Chris the Plumber says House of Dragons got canceled.
Really?
Apparently. And then Dave in Section T followed up, says, that's not the way spoiler alerts are supposed to work, Tommy. I'm sorry, Dave.
What did you
Section T.
do?
It was canceled?
House of the Dragon? Oh, it's House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
I thought it was House of Dragons.
House of the
Of the Dragon.
I didn't know I got that
Oh
wrong.
my God.
The Targaryens are the family of the dragons.
Are we sure?
There's so many shows I'm looking forward to coming out. Like The Handmaid's Tale, You.
I've never seen Handmaid's Tale.
It's basically like the world we're living in now. It's crazy.
What other shows?
Yeah, You is coming out.
No, it's not canceled.
Oh, thank God.
House of the Dragon. Apparently,
Who said that? Stop-
Chris the Plumber.
Chris the Plumber, stop spreading rumors.
August of
Getting my heart
2024, unless something's changed, it's going to end with season 4. Season 3 to begin production early 2025. So House of the Dragon is still going to be a while till you get the next season.
Oh, yeah.
But there's nothing even on the Wikipedia saying it's canceled. It even says till present.
Okay, you want to talk about waiting forever? Stranger Things. Like, when are we getting the last season here?
I know that girl, that actress is married now.
She is. I couldn't even recognize her. Millie Bobby Brown. She's like bringing her dog, and she doesn't have a buzzed head anymore. And she was in the
2022
Godzilla
is the
movie.
last season.
Yeah, it's been forever.
Apparently 2025. It's
Yeah,
supposed to
be
come out
coming
this year.
Yeah. but
Okay, finally, let's
we
go.
watched her as like pretty much a little girl, and now she's
Yes,
grown.
11.
Euphoria is a show that I actually do enjoy.
Me too.
That one we're waiting again for that one too.
That's gonna be a while.
It's apparently they're doing a jump.
Like a 5-year.
They have
jump.
to do a
Yeah.
jump.
I read like the like people's guesses of what was gonna happen and stuff.
You can't just continue that one. Although with no who's the drug dealer's name?
Away.
Yeah, that one sucked. Because he was a good character too. Angel Cloud, I think was his real name. Euphoria is a fun show. It's
what
messed
everybody
up.
says. My brother says it's great. He loves that one. Andrea, by the way, says she started rewatching Handmaid's Tale, and it's just making her sad and angry.
Yeah,
With an LOL.
because that's like almost the world we're in. It's crazy. You're like, oh my God, is that what we're getting to? But yeah, I want to see how it ends. I gotta know.
Okay, you said you were at the premiere of season 3 of White Lotus. You get to go to stuff like that. Are those fun?
Oh yeah.
Well, I always wonder. You see, like,
because it's boring.
well, I'm there to be seen.
No, it's so much fun. Like you arrive and you run into everyone you like, people you know who are in the industry. But my favorite is just always, getting free popcorn and pop before I go.
That's
in.
it.
I'm
So
like,
you go there for the free popcorn and pop. If you
and
ever,
to see if I see anybody, I'm like, ooh.
well, that part, okay, like the people watching, but like if you ever need to make Ashley Callingbull happy, just give her free popcorn and pop.
Like no joke. Like movie theater popcorn is my favorite food. Layered.
Have you ever Uber Eats'd it?
Yeah, the other day. I do that a lot.
I don't think you're the only one. It's a thing.
And like a lot of times I would just go to the movie theater just to buy popcorn and then I would leave. Like
I know of a few people that have done that one.
yeah, like to me that's normal. I already knew about the trick about ripping the bag on the corner and covering it with another bag before people started doing that.
I do not know of this
What is
trick.
that?
You know how when you say you order Uber Eats, like the popcorn, they bring it in the bag, but then they put another bag on top of
Okay.
it so it doesn't spill. Well, you just rip the corner of that bag and then it slides on easier.
Oh.
And then you can
That's
just
a
walk
life hack.
around with popcorn.
And not spilling everywhere.
Yeah. Because back in the day, I would just put it in my car and, be open and put a seatbelt down, make sure it wouldn't spill. But now this is like legit, like
It's not
losing
going
it.
anywhere.
Yeah.
So what happens at like do you just sit and watch?
Because
the
I always
episode?
wonder
Like-
about that. You see like the red carpet, you're like, okay, nice pictures, but like, is there like parties after and like mingling?
There's parties after, even before there's mingling, even before the show starts, people come up and talk, or the actors will talk. They'll introduce the show and talk about things, and it's just a lot of talking.
Yeah,
And then
well.
finally, when you watch the show, you're like, oh, okay, so excited. But the only thing that sucks is like, yeah, they take your phone away. Like they lock everything up so
Yeah.
people can't give any spoilers out, right? So there's so many times I'm like, oh, this would be so epic to take a picture of, but I can't. You wait till the very end, finally get your phones back, but the actors will come out and talk, and then there's always like after parties.
Where are the after parties?
Where are
people's-
these premieres?
Yeah.
Are they in Vancouver?
Yeah.
Is it Vancouver or Toronto?
Well, I went to the one in TIFF, like at the TIFF Lightbox. So the
Oh,
Canadian
okay.
premiere, yeah. So usually like all the premieres are at TIFF Lightbox.
Okay.
Yeah. And then usually after parties they'll usually have drinks there at TIFF Lightbox, and then they'll move to like the Hazelton.
Oh, okay. You're gonna.
I'm not going there anytime soon.
That'd be fun to go to a premiere.
It is. And I just loved holding it against my parents. Like I saw it before you guys did.
Well, not the actual premiere. When The Last Dance came out from Netflix, was it Netflix with Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
I asked for a media screening copy of it, and they gave me like the first 6 episodes or something.
Did they really?
Yeah, which is great. So I was able to like crush a bunch of them before everyone else got to see it, which was like, I was like, oh, this is special. I need to get onto that with the TV shows.
Smart.
There are some they will give out screeners up until the last episode to like media people, and I got to find a way to get on that list.
How did you get it through our old station?
I just emailed ESPN because I think it was an ESPN production too. No, yeah, it wasn't Netflix. Oh no, it was between both. It was ESPN Netflix, I think. And I knew the ESPN PR contact, so I messaged like, "Hey, I'm just looking for a media screener." And like, "Sure, there you go."
Boom.
I was like, "Sweet."
No, that's smart.
And it was COVID, so there's nothing going on. So I was like, "Perfect, I'll crush this as quickly as I
Great
can."
Documentary. Okay, so I don't know like how I would handle a red carpet. Because you do the red carpet, right?
Mhm.
Like, isn't it
Not
just
smiling.
awkward?
Well,
A lot of smiling.
I'm always laughing because it's
Well,
like funny to me.
I think for you and us, and I, we would have to just walk by because
like-
no one would care about
Like,
us.
you're the stupid sportscasters. Hey,
Who are you? Keep going.
yeah, move out of the way. Move.
It's like, it's funny, but I feel okay because I know someone styled me to look good. So I don't have to worry about that. If I was
Right.
going to style myself, I'd be like, I don't know, maybe I'd question that. But, showing up and then doing interviews, it's fun. And then you're like, okay, now I can have fun now that that's over with. But it's always exciting, but it's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Mm.
TV is hurry up and wait,
True.
regardless of if you're at a premiere or you're filming on set. Hurry up and wait.
Did you do some acting? I never asked you. What'd you end up getting into?
So I filmed Blackstone, which was a series for 5 years. I filmed on Tribal. I'm on my 2nd season now of this series called Acting Good. It's a comedy series on CTV. But yeah, doing some things.
You're always busy because you're always
I know.
flying around, doing things. You do some hosting. You MC'd, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You did, the Elks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were in
The
Saskatoon,
Rush.
the Rush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like it all or do you prefer some stuff over
I
other stuff?
love anything that involves sports. It's definitely a different environment to be in. It's so much more fun.
Yeah.
Because the atmosphere, the energy you get from people and you give that back and then you get that back. It's so much fun. But I love traveling. So
Traveling's awesome.
as long as I don't see any spooky shit in the hotels. Oh, sorry if I swore.
It's all good.
Well, it's all
We're online.
Yeah. It'll be all right. It'll be just fine. Well, you did Miss Universe too. We probably should talk about that.
Yeah.
You told me some great stories.
Yeah. Oh my God. So last July, I won the title of Miss Universe Canada. I was
Round of clicks. Yeah, very well done. Very well
I was
done.
the first Native woman to ever win that title.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I went and competed at Miss Universe in November in Mexico City. Was there for almost a month.
Really?
Placed top 12. It was awesome out of 130 women.
Why
Most
so
they've ever
long?
had. That's how pageants are. They're
Are they?
usually like almost a
What?
month long. Yeah. Because you're doing activities, events, sponsorship things like throughout the whole thing. And the The very last week, that's when you do your one-on-one interviews with the judges. That's when you have a preliminary competition and a finals.
Oh,
So
okay.
the whole time you're being watched at all these different things that you're doing and different events you're attending.
So it's not Miss Congeniality
All
with
in
Sandra
one day.
Bullock, where it's like the course of like 4 days.
Oh, I wish. That'd be so much easier if it was 4 days. But no, it's almost like a test to see if you can handle it. You can handle being like tired all the time, can handle the pressure. People always up in your face, up in your business. How do you carry yourself? How do you handle stress? Because if you were to win, like you can't handle that, you won't be able to handle the lifestyle.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it's almost like a battle of like, I guess, only the fittest.
Yeah, no.
Well, yeah.
Like it's crazy because it's not just physical. It's like emotionally, can you handle that type of? Can you handle it? You know,
And
you have
what
to be
you told
emotionally
me,
strong too.
and you were saying that some of those women cannot handle it.
Yeah, they can't. A lot of women can't, or a lot of girls have. Like when I went, it's a different dynamic when I went because they dropped the age requirement. So there was girls there that were like 18, girls there that were in their 30s. So it was different vibes, right? Some girls who have never had any life experience, have never done anything other than train for that, and that's all they've known. So it was hard for them to grasp stress or travel. Like some girls traveling from Europe who've never traveled before went all the way to Mexico City by themselves. The altitude made so many girls like not feel well.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of things you have to take into account. And also you don't have connection really with anybody. Like you have your phone, but you're not allowed to be on it. Like you're always busy. So it's you against like the world. And then you're just connecting with these girls and going through the same stuff together and you're holding on. But it's like,
Jeez.
pageants are not easy. Like they are not easy. They can be extremely competitive. You can meet some women who are not very nice and then meet some women who are like forever friends. Like I've had some girls not so nice, but then I've had girls that I met that I've been friends with for like 15 years.
I don't know if you want to tell those stories, but you told some great ones when we were hanging out at the game, and you're like, "Well, those Latina girls, you better look out because they're trouble. They're feisty."
Yeah, like there were some things I didn't know that were really smart that they were doing. Like sometimes it was just like playing mind games too, and I would laugh about it now. But like, say for example, I was waiting in line in a chair, and I was the next person to be interviewed for something. A girl would come up to me and she would say, "Ashley, blah, blah, blah is looking for you. You got to go now." And I'd be like, "Oh, okay." I'd get up and then she would sit in my chair and then take my spot. And I'd come back and they're like, "Oh, you missed your interview." And I was like, that smart little shit.
Jeez.
I was like,
Wow.
but yeah, there was like girls really getting at each other in so many ways. But that's just how it is.
Well, I can imagine that pressure just feeds into that as well.
Yeah. And then I think the one thing too, girls need to learn about pageants, if you're going to join it, you can't compare yourself to someone else. It will just drive you absolutely mental. Like everyone is there. They're different. They stand for something different. But a lot of girls, because of how it is, they'll start to compare themselves and be like, what does she have that I don't? You know, I'm like, don't look at anybody else because you're going to get in your head and then you're just going to start arguments with other girls. And yeah, it's really about like holding your head high and not getting involved in any drama because there could be so much high school drama. It just depends on who you hang with, right?
Well, yeah, you could put the blinders on.
Yeah,
Just focus.
That's what I asked her. I'm like, how did you handle it? Because, and what would you say? You're just nice to everyone?
Yeah, you just have to be nice to everybody and like.
That's the Canadian way.
Hey.
Well done, representing Canada.
Yeah, I'm like, you got to be nice to everybody, and I was, and I gave everyone like, you know, grace, and even if they weren't nice at first, I'm like, okay, well maybe she's tired. We're all tired.
Bad
Bad day,
thing.
right? So I'm like, whatever. But then some girls did have attitudes, but I don't feed into it. I just surrounded myself with the women that were there, that were women of substance.
You didn't take notes and try to get revenge on people.
No.
Yeah, like the one that got your seat. You didn't be like,
I
well,
always think
on the list you go.
Karma is a,
You know what?
you know, like I think if you do something, it's going to come back to you. So I'm like, no, I don't put negative energy out there because I don't want that coming back to me. I'm
I
like,
respect that.
yeah.
They'll run into the ghosts. You won't.
Yeah, exactly.
Boo. Boo, bitch. I'm just gonna.
Well played. Well played.
Just scare them. Your room's haunted. Did you hear that? What? Just get them mentally scared.
That's
Just add a little more. They won't sleep even more now.
Did you hear what happened?
Be a
in
little
that
more
room?
time.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that horse.
Yeah, there's the horse.
Just gonna
8th
gallop.
floor, huh?
Do you not hear it? That's when you stand outside with a little something to make
Placard. 8th floor. Interesting.
Just out in the hallway.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you go. That's where you go with the golem a little bit, just through the door, looking for your precious.
I showed some of those girls that I could do that because we were talking about different. They were talking about talents, and they're like, "What's your talent?" Because we don't have to do a talent for the pageant. Like you can be talentless, but like, like we all have our things that we're good at, right? We all have talents, but like you don't have to perform a talent. Like it's not like a show. Everyone knows what we're capable of, but the girls were talking about like, well, what's a talent of yours? I was like, well, I can make voices. And I remember showing them that, and some of the girls were,
That is
it's so weird. But a lot of the girls are like, we love that you're yourself. And that's important.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
That's important.
There's a lot of golems people try. Yours is up there.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd go with that one.
But okay, like if you're like Ashley and you're showing your personality there, I would appreciate that way more than a girl that was in a pageant. That's all she knows. She's never traveled before, doesn't do anything, probably boring as you know what to be around. Like,
There's some girls that can't carry conversation.
Yeah.
And that was, and I'm one of those people, like I said, I give everyone a chance. So if there was a girl that was sitting by herself sometimes, I'd feel really bad for her because no one was talking to her. I'm like, maybe it's the language barrier, maybe it's this. So I'll go and talk to her. But sometimes they just can't carry conversation.
It's just pulling teeth trying to get
and
it.
I'm like, I'm trying. And I'm like, I'm trying to pull you out of your comfort zone so you could feel comfortable to be here. Because, you know, when you step out of your comfort zone, it's what you realize, like what you're made of. But yeah, pageants is all about stepping out of your comfort zone. You have to be okay with being in front of the world.
Well, what about the language barrier though? Like, is there like a requirement for a certain language or?
No, usually most of the girls speak English or it could be their second language, but there's a lot of girls who won't speak English. Like a lot of Latin girls that only speak Spanish, a lot of girls in Asia that only speak their languages, in Europe. So we would have translators for different things. And then sometimes girls would hang out with the girls that spoke their language because you can't, how do you understand? But we would be able to kind of get each other like what's going on, but it's hard, like very, very hard to have a conversation with someone who doesn't speak the same language. You're like, oh yeah. So how many times am I on my
the translator.
Google Translate? Just press the record button and let it translate it
Even all
live.
my hairstylists and makeup artists there, they all spoke Spanish and I don't speak Spanish. So I would just constantly be translating and making jokes like on my phone and they'd be like, and I'm like, I have to show my humor through my phone.
I'm so funny. Look at me go.
Okay, there's got to be, you got to have like a crew or entourages around you. Is that part of it? Like you're talking about your makeup artists and stuff.
So like, say if I go to an event or I'm hosting, I usually have someone that styles me, hairstylist and makeup artist. Because if I try to do it myself, sometimes people are like, did anybody help you?
That's always a rough one.
Whoa.
And I'm like, clearly not.
That's where you definitely say, yeah, I had someone help me, but I guess I'll get someone else.
I'm independent.
No, but it makes a difference. And plus, like, I try to highlight different Canadian or native designers all the time, or like native people that are in the hair and makeup industry. I try to give everyone try to give everyone a chance, but I try to highlight different people and try a different designer every time. Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
How many people are in the pageants? Like how many contestants usually?
For Miss Universe, there was 130.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then for Miss Universe Canada, I can't remember. I think there was like over 60.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not like a province thing or something.
No, it's all girls throughout Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I think there's over 60. And going to Miss Universe, that was the most they've ever had, was 130 girls. And then right off the bat at finals, they eliminate to top 30. So they eliminate 100 girls right off the bat. So it's very scary. You're like, I don't know, man. Like you're looking around, like there's a lot of amazing people here. You're like, fingers and toes crossed. Crazy feeling.
It's a lot of contestants to go up against. That's wild.
Yeah.
Norman at Combine has a question. How many languages do you speak?
Just English,
Yeah.
some Cree,
A little bit of Cree.
hmm
That's cool.
Spanish. My translator thing does.
Yeah. Spanish feels like a fun language.
I'd like to learn Italian.
Yeah.
If I could learn one, it'd be Italian.
Yeah. That'd be a good one.
I feel like Spanish would just benefit me for work,
Yeah.
States, and travel.
Spanish, Italian. Those are big ones.
French. Oh, I speak French, but
Oh, you do?
yeah, I was in French immersion.
Do you still speak? Like, can you still?
Yeah.
You're like, ha, ha, ha.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly how I sound when I speak French,
that is
actually.
perfect French.
Yeah.
Hey, you
Oh,
speak
yeah.
a new language.
You sure you,
You
don't
should add
speak
that one
French?
to the
Yeah,
resume.
Thank you. Yeah.
There's the French that you speak.
I hate it when I travel. Everyone's like, oh, you're from Canada, so you must speak French. I'm just like, oh my God.
Of course I do.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, that's really correct. Yeah, it's putain.
Oh, stop it with the poutine.
That's how French I
Get
am. It's
out of there
putain.
with the poutine. Yeah.
But yeah, people always ask, they're like, you speak French? I'm like, no, I'm from the west
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
We don't care to learn.
Unless you're in Beaumont.
Yeah.
That's it.
Touche.
Portions of this hour of the EST Hangout, they are brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out. TheHighProductMarketing.com.
Good toss.
Ashley, Tom, Matt with you here on the Hangout on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice Edmonton Sports. After I'm done the full line,
It's his thing.
I try to hit the camera as best as I can.
Yeah.
So far, that's a good toss today.
That was a
I got
very
two
nice
more to
throw.
go.
Yesterday that one throw was terrible. It went right into the desk. It was awful.
Sorry, I got a quick. My niece is listening today. It's her birthday. Mila wants a birthday wave. So happy birthday, Mila. She's 5 today.
Happy birthday.
So there we go. You were on Amazing Race.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
one of the best experiences of
Yeah?
my life. Yeah. I encourage everyone to go on that show.
Well, you're going to have to tell Belsy that because Sean Bell, he's been invited.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah, it's been a few times.
Yeah. And we had the girls that won from Edmonton on a few months ago. They were great. The wrestlers from the U of A. But Belsy says he wouldn't take me as his teammate. He said he'd rather have you. And he's
Belsy and I think would work well with each other.
And that really makes a difference. Whoever you pick as your teammate. Because say you're in the most stressful situation, are you going to be with someone, say if you're at their ultimate high, this other person's at their low, like how are you guys going to work together? Very stressful situations. Who's going to lift each other up at that time, right? You can't just both be in
the
down.
dumps. Yeah.
It really makes a difference because there could be a lot of conflict. Like with my dad, he's a very calm, patient man. And I could just be really erratic. Just like he said I was like a hurricane.
Really?
And he was like, but I was the eye of the storm. I just like directed her where she needed to go. So that's how he described us. We had a really good relationship. I can talk to him, rely on him. But during that show, me and my dad got so much closer because you have no contact to the outside world, like no connection. Like they take away your phones, everything. You can't talk to your family for like 6 weeks. Like no joke. So imagine one time I was in Vietnam and I was just doing the craziest things, like eating a bat and live bugs. And I remember that night I was laying in bed thinking like, I want to call my mom so bad and tell her what I'm doing, but she has like no idea I'm in Vietnam, like eating a bat. Like it's just crazy to me. You know, so
I couldn't do
that show. And imagine waking up every day. You don't have a phone. You can't talk to anyone. You just have a clue. And you rip open the clue and that will tell you where you're going to go, but you don't know what you're doing for the rest of the day. So it's like almost anxiety of the unknown nonstop. And then when you get there, it's like, oh, this is what's happening. Okay. But the one thing I encourage people is to never take a penalty. That is like the biggest mistake ever. Never, no matter how hard it is, there's always going to be another team that's slower or behind you. No matter what, like keep going through.
So the penalty is if you can't complete something, you take the penalty and you could just skip it.
And you skip it, but then you have to go stand at the mat and wait to the side for 4 hours.
Oh,
it's 4 hours.
Yeah. While other
geez.
teams come rolling.
I don't think mentally I could do that. I would just get angry watching people
and
pass
you just
me.
have to sit there. And I remember in my first episode, these 2 guys took a penalty that couldn't do the first task, and they were eliminated the first episode.
Yikes.
And I'm like, maybe if you took the penalty at the very beginning, not midway.
Right.
So they did the task and then
they took a penalty because they're like, we're not going to do it. And I'm like, they couldn't finish it. So I did it again though. Like keep going until you get it. That's the mentality in the race. It's like, you got to keep going until you get it. Cause once you do, you're like, oh my God, holy crap, this show's like showing me what I'm made of, man. Like there's things on there you never think you would do in real life.
Yeah, like, well, you just said you ate a bat and live bugs. I would probably puke. I might take the
Do
penalty.
both of people have to eat the food, or could just one?
No, both of us had to help each other.
Damn, I might not be
but
good for
the-
Belzy.
But the dessert, we had to eat separately. We couldn't help each other. And it was live coconut worms. Those like big white.
See, I don't want to eat bugs.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah,
be the only
that's
thing I
my-
don't want. I don't want to do that.
And
no.
my first task I ever did on The Amazing Race was bungee jumping out of a gondola
Oh
over
my-
Jasper, like over the mountain.
Oh my God.
That was my first task. Insane,
how
That's very insane.
how did
But that
you-
has got to be the coolest experience to be able to say after.
right? I'm like, yeah, I bungeed over the mountain. No big deal. What did you do today?
Would you go
and
do
I
it
also
again?
I flew a warplane too by myself.
What?
Yeah. I had to learn how to fly a warplane in Hamilton. Yeah.
What kind of warplane did you?
I can't even remember what it's
like a-
called. Like those big old yellow ones. Like so
a bomber?
old, like I wonder if I have a picture to look it up.
did I not
Yellow
see this?
Canadian
It was in Hamilton. today.
warplane.
Yeah. It was like so
Hamilton.
cool. But it was in Hamilton at the airport right beside there.
This guy?
Yeah.
So
You flew that by yourself?
Yeah. Well, there was a guy in there with me
Yeah.
in case we were gonna die.
yeah, I would assume that they're gonna have someone like, no, actually, take this plane and fly up.
Hey,
Good luck.
you're now part of the Navy, the Air Force.
But you know, me and my dad, we made it all. That was our goal, was to make it to the very end of the race, like to race the entire race without being eliminated. So we came third, and when we finally got to the mat, we were like, "Oh my God!" Like, you know, I can't believe we did that.
That's
like,
cool.
That was just next level. And then having to turn on my phone again, and then keep it a secret for months about what happened.
Well, that's got to be hard.
that
Yes.
was really hard.
Okay, so Ty Smith, who played for the Humboldt Broncos, and his fiance Kat, they won it a couple years ago, and Smitty came and helped us at a hockey camp in the summer, and the show was still airing. And we're like, Smitty, how are you gonna do tonight? He's like, I can't tell you guys. And we're like, Smitty, we like your chances. He's like, that's great, guys. I can't tell you. He ended up winning, and we're like, yeah, Smitty, all right, we knew it. And he's like, bastards, like you guys tried so hard to pry it out of me, and we couldn't. But yeah.
That's really hard, is to keep it from everybody.
How many notifications?
When I turned my phone on,
Yeah.
it was just over and over, and I was like, I just want to call my sister and tell her I'm alive. My sister and my mom. I remember I called my sister and my mom, and they're like, Ashley, and I was like, I made it. I'm alive. I'm alive. I was like, but I gotta go. We're going to the after party.
Of course, red carpet, after party, popcorn.
How easy is it to travel between? Like, do you have to get your own travel and stuff if you have to fly somewhere?
Oh, like for events and stuff, people book it. For
No,
me.
through Amazing Race.
Oh, through me. Oh, so they basically give us like money on like a card, and then we show up and we have to book our travel there. They'll have stuff waiting there for us, but our own hotels we'd have to get to. If it's like an overnight where they're like, oh, keep on racing, you have to go find your own hotel and make sure that you have enough money that's saved.
Okay.
And also that
Oh.
there's also a room there too for your camera crew, because everyone has their own camera and sound crew. So you have to make sure everyone's taken care of. You don't have to pay for them, but you have to make sure that there's a room for them too.
What about the flight for them? Do they have to be on your flight?
Everyone has to be on the same flight.
Oh,
Yeah, but
Okay.
then some flights, some team won't make it, and they'll have to wait, and then they'll wait with their camera crew. So it doesn't matter.
I
I'm
was
like,
gonna ask you. Yeah, but the camera, like, is it awkward having them around, or you just get used to it?
oh, you get so used to it, you forget they're there. But you talk to them and you hang out with them and you become friends. And all the crew, like, they switch to different teams, so it's always like different.
Mhm.
But you can never talk about the race unless the camera's on. They'll give you
Oh.
hell. They're like, nope. They're like, hard ice. They're like, you can't talk. Like, can't talk.
Huh?
They're like, you can't talk. And I'm like, okay, because you don't want anything to not be genuine. You want everything to be. They're like, oh, you're gonna talk about it. Hold on. And we'll set everything up.
Oh.
They want everything. So yeah, when people ask, like, are reality shows real? I'm like, well, that one is. I'm like, that one is real. I'm like, those are real emotions, like real everything. Like, we have no idea what's going on. We just wake up every day and hope to survive.
Wow. But see,
I
Maddie,
think I would do well. Again, it's the bug eating.
eating stuff and heights.
That'd be the
scare
tough
the
one.
Crap out of
Honestly,
me.
I might have to take the penalty.
The hardest thing is to just get past the mentality thing. Because like the physicals, you're like, oh, I'm exhausted, whatever. It's the mental strength. Like if you're not mentally strong, you'll just fail at that show. There's some people who are in the best shapes of their lives that are like, oh my God, that person's going to make it all the way. But mentally they couldn't handle it. So they won't. And then they'll fall apart. Their dynamic doesn't work. They argue. Like there's so many things you have to take into account. It's crazy. Make sure you have a good partner.
Well, Belzy's not taking me. Hi, Sean.
I'm going.
You could be his partner. Well, he's not taking. I don't think he's taking his wife. Unless
Somebody's got to watch the kids.
Somebody's got to watch. Well, yeah.
So I'll go. I'll take the bullet.
Yeah.
Belzy and I will go.
Yeah.
We'll poke each other.
He likes Big Brother.
Love Big Brother.
Would you do Big Brother?
People have asked me about that multiple times, and I've never seen Big Brother.
Okay.
I don't watch it.
And all I know is that it's mostly mind games, right? And like playing games, and
There's a social game and there's a mental game in it.
yeah.
And then there's the physical game.
I just don't want people seeing me being really awful and have to.
Why?
Because you got to be cutthroat in that,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and also in the end, it is straight up cameras are on 24/7.
Yeah.
Now the Canada's gone. They've canceled it.
Right.
And the last couple of seasons, they got rid of the 24/7 cameras, which annoyed people. But in like the States, it's full 24/7. So no matter almost whatever you say, they shut off the feeds every so often, but
Yeah.
you could get caught with anything. And there's cameras in the toilet. Every time you go to the bathroom, the cameras are filming.
Yeah.
They don't want you cheating in there. They have to keep an eye if you're bringing anything in or things like that.
See, I'd rather do the Amazing Race because at least I can still travel and see
You're seeing a
the
lot.
world and be out and about. But then Big Brother, you're just in a house, right?
Well, and I've talked to
Going
a
crazy
couple of
with all these
contestants.
Yeah.
There was one Mark when we worked with him.
Mark,
He says
Chelsea.
you get messed up when you leave that house.
Really?
When you're in that house for 60 days or whatever. And
60 days?
it could go up by, I don't know what the record is.
That's crazy.
I'm just trying to think with the US. It goes from July through to the end of September. It might be 70 some days.
That's
is the
like
long one you go?
lockdown.
Well, that's the thing. They have an backyard, but you're stuck in this one thing. You have no phone. You have no information from the outside world. You're not talking to anyone from the outside world. You get messed up as you
Oh
leave
my
the
God.
house.
I think I saw something. I don't know if it was Big Brother Canada or Big Brother US, but they were telling everyone about the coronavirus when it came out because they were in
It's Canada.
they were in the house and they're like, what? And they're like, everything's okay, your family's okay. And I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, but you're still gonna be locked up.
They canceled that season. It was an awful season.
Really?
Yeah.
Be in lockdown.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's where actually the few times they were in the house in 9/11 back in the US. I think it was season 2 at the time.
Really?
And there's 3 left. One person had somebody die in the attacks.
No.
But they
Oh,
informed the house guests like, hey, this has happened. Just so you know, like America's under attack type thing and stuff. But they are cut off from the outside world fully. Were you able to see news?
Nothing.
Like, did you know TV?
Nothing. So even when we got into our hotel, when we first got there for sequester week, they take the TVs out of all the hotel rooms, magazines. They took my playing cards. There's no phone. There's nothing in there because they don't want you to read anything or know what's going on. Can't read newspapers, nothing.
Wow.
Nothing at all.
So unless you hear something when somebody's walking by, you don't know anything going on.
And then I remember when I was at the airport, they were saying things about that there was a fire in Fort McMurray. And that was the year of the Fort McMurray fire. And they're like, yeah, everyone's okay. Because I guess some people knew people that were from there. God, this is happening right now. And when we were at an airport, we saw it on the news and we're not supposed to be watching, but we're just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, Yeah, I wasn't allowed to know anything about what's going on outside world. But
That'd be a lot harder than Big Brother, you can't. There's no way to get the
Right.
news.
They can control
While
that.
you're traveling,
but
it's there. It's out
sometimes-
there.
I'm probably not allowed to say this, but sometimes, say if I went to a bathroom and I saw there was like a random newspaper, I know I'm not allowed to read the news, so I would just take like the last page because I knew I wouldn't get in trouble. And when I was bored, I'd be reading like obituaries.
No way.
I'd be in my
Wow.
room, and I'd be like, hey, Dad, I'm like, you got to read this girl's obit. She had a crazy life. Like that's there's only so much going on.
Wow.
Whatever you need to do to entertain yourself.
I guess. Hey, Dad.
I was just still trying to read without getting in trouble,
Well, maybe the first person to be entertained by the obits.
Yeah. Well, gotta see this one, Dad.
what a life. I'm like,
Man, she was great. Look at this. Look at all she did. All she's seen.
so
Yeah.
missed.
Wow.
It will be missed. I feel like I know her.
Is there a reality show you'd ever go on?
I like Survivor.
Yeah?
Although I haven't watched it in years, but that one seems
Would
cool.
you be able to handle?
I would say yes, but probably not.
It looks tough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd want to, because I don't know. There's something about it. There's some mystique to it. I remember the first ever Survivor. I was 12 or 13 when it came out. I'm like, this looks wild. And I liked it until about like Survivor 6 or 7. And my parents still love it. I'm like, you know what? That would be intense. But now the Survivor compared to like when it started seems way not more easy, but like they've obviously run into issues and you're better taken care of. I think I would do okay in that one.
They own an island now or something where they do them all now because they used to travel. It'd be like, we're in Fiji Islands this time.
Australia.
Now it's like this owned island, I think, that they always go to.
Okay. I would, you know what, honestly, I would love Jeff Probst's job. I would love to be the host of Survivor. That would be ultimate.
Yeah, I'd rather be a host for a show like
Yeah.
that, not be on it. Not compete.
Not be,
you
yeah.
know, go through stress. I'm like, I'd rather be taken care of and have, like my crafts area I can go and hang out in.
But back to White Lotus, Mike White was on Survivor
Yeah.
back in the day.
Did you ever
Really?
see that? Oh.
No.
Mike White did Survivor. He was
I remember
always a
seeing the
fan.
wine. He was like drinking wine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to look for this. Oh, yeah. And he's just drinking his wine, not caring. A couple members of Survivor of his season have had cameos in White Lotuses.
Really?
He's brought them in just to be like sitting there or something like that.
That's awesome.
He knew Jeff Probst or whatever. And
I would love that job.
I don't think it was through him fully, but they like talked. And then once he knew he was going on Survivor, he like stopped talking to Jeff because he's like, I don't want any advantage or something. But he was just a huge Survivor fan. So he got onto Survivor.
That was cool.
Jimmy Johnson was on it. Not Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson, like they just retired from NFL on Fox?
Yeah.
Really?
He got knocked out early.
Not surprising.
But he was on the
He's
show.
like 80 years old.
Yeah, he was on the show.
That's cool. Like I like that. But I'd love to do I like History Channel. I'd like to go and travel to those places and host those shows like that.
Ooh,
When I've
a
done with
travel
sports.
show?
Yeah.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
That would actually be really cool.
Yeah.
Just go do Naked and Afraid.
No.
In a different area. They'll be like, the contestants are naked, not you.
Better go to the gym.
What other reality? Like none of the reality show hosts have ever really changed right now.
Because
The
it's the best
Bachelor.
gig.
That
Has
Chris-
The Bachelor?
Yeah, that Chris Harrison guy left like a while back, and then they have another guy.
Okay.
Because I watched the Bachelor finale last night. It was my mom, and we were just laughing. And she's like, "What happened to that other guy, the host?" I'm like, "I can't even remember what the controversy was, but he's not there anymore." But that was
Didn't
the
know
only
that
one
one.
that's ever changed.
Because Julie Chen does Big Brother.
Mhm.
Jeff is Survivor.
Mhm.
Who's the guy that does Amazing Race in the States?
Oh.
I forgot his name. I think he's still doing
He's
it.
very good.
John Montgomery.
He does
John
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
Arissa Cox was doing Big Brother Canada before it got canceled. Are there any other big reality shows?
Well, like even Drew Carey doing The Price is Right.
Yeah.
That's been a long time too.
Yeah. That would be a fun I know you have to tape
That
a
would
bunch.
be, that's my favorite show.
My parents
Yeah?
went
I watch
to
it
it.
every day at 11 o'clock.
Great
I
show.
still watch it. That's my intro I ask for people when they put me on, like, if I do a keynote, they're like, what do you want your intro song to be? If they ever ask, I'm like, I want the Price is Right one when they're coming on down.
Yes.
And then I come in.
Okay. Would you guys be the ones that would bid $1?
Well, if you had to.
Depending on what it is. If I know everyone is overbidding, because I'm really good at that show.
I believe this. I believe
I'm
this.
really good at that show. Like, I've been watching it since I was a kid. Like, I made my own Plinko machine when I was going to
No
make
way.
for,
Cool.
for like a thing. Just, I can't remember what it was for, what I even did it for, but they were like, Ashley, you want to do something that's going to be in the main area, something for all the students to be involved in, win stuff for our program. And I was like, yeah, I'll build a Plinko machine.
I love Plinko.
That was the greatest game.
Great game.
When Plinko came out, you're like, this is a good episode.
Yeah.
Yes, Plinko.
Hole in one or two was always one of my favorites.
Bob Barker
Plinko.
always crushed that one.
Well, yeah. Bob Barker.
Well, I'll show you guys how to do that. Just
Yeah, nice and smooth like butter.
Yeah.
Butter with that putter. I always like, you know which game I like? The one where you'd punch the holes. You have to guess like the price higher or lower and then give you more punches.
Yeah.
I always found that I loved that. I'm like, oh, that'd be so much fun. And then you'd pull out the cash.
if you go to the banquet downtown, they have the wheel to spin.
I spun the wheel.
Oh,
Have you not known that?
no.
Yeah, the banquet
Makes the
above
noise
Ice
too.
House.
Didn't know that.
They have the Price is Right wheel, and you can go spin it.
Yeah, and it makes the noise and everything.
Well, now you know where I'll be.
Yeah, it's,
Like,
Where's
girl, don't
Ashley?
leave.
She's spinning the
She's
wheel
like
again.
reading obituaries and spinning this wheel. This weird girl here.
What? You do you, Ash. You do you.
This is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada's storage experts, more than 2 decades helping Canadians through life transitions. Canadian storage provider, sentinel.ca for more information. Buy Canadian.
Good one.
They're Canadian storage provider, as I said. Ashley, Tommy, Matt with you here on the Hangout. We've got Lock Shop coming up at 11. Two guys, you're in with Gager and Cass today.
Yep.
We've got EST Afternoons. We've got the Reed Wilkins Show. That's what's coming up later here on Edmonton Sports Talk. You say you like doing anything around sports. Favorite sport?
Hockey.
It is.
100%.
Yeah.
I think it's just growing up watching it. Hockey and tough. Football or basketball.
For number 2 spot.
Yeah. I just really started to get into football, like NFL football. But I always really want to go to a college football game.
Great time.
That's what I want to experience.
time.
I have
Yes.
yet to experience that because I just love the whole idea of the band, everything.
There's a lot of band.
I love band.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to be like into music, but I wasn't very talented. I played the triangle in like grade 4.
Somebody's got to. Somebody's got to play the triangle.
I tinged and then I tinged at the very end because I was like too much of a screw up to do anything in between. I was the
Ashley
ting
on
girl.
triangle. Ashley
Ting.
on triangle. Yep.
Not a
Ashley,
ting,
you're
ting,
cute. Ting ting.
Number 3?
No.
We can only trust her to do 2. We will not allow her to do 3.
Even my mom, she in school, she told me the story. She's like, "Why don't you just do what I did when we had to play the
Recorder.
yeah?" And I was like, "Oh my god, mom, I'm never gonna do that." She's like, for every class, she would be pretending,
That makes sense.
but then
okay.
she would never play. And then eventually, her teacher like graded her, thinking that she was one of the best because they would top it down to all the best who sounded the best at the very end. And she would just always be with that group, but she was never playing. I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
That's
Just
clever. Yeah, just fake it.
fake
I
till
never
you
had to
make
do
it.
bands.
No. I remember the bells in like elementary. We had bells
Mhm.
and it was hard. And you drop one and the music teacher would like freak out and you had to wear the white gloves.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. And I'm like, I hate this. This is dumb.
Yeah, and it is the forward motion.
And you have to be like, you have to like do it properly. If you don't do it right, it just wrecks them.
I've always wanted to be in like a band like that.
What instrument would you play?
The
Ideally.
drums.
Oh,
I
you'd
want
be
to be part
drummer?
of the drum line.
Oh, one of those drums, yeah. Actually, the Elks have a pretty good drum.
They
like
do have a drum
like
line.
3
I
or
know,
4
I
of
always
them.
watch. I would be like, oh, so cool, all the time. But I told you that earlier.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a mascot my whole life.
Well,
You're the second person that has ever told me that.
the next big event at our golf tournament, Smash might be Miss Universe Canada's Ashley.
We can help you live a dream
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
We can bring in Smash, and you
She
can
saw the Smash costume. She's like, I've always wanted to be a mascot. I'm like, well, now's your time, Ash.
Because usually every sports team I like work with, I'll go. This sounds really weird, but I usually go up to whoever the mascot or whoever's wearing it. And I'm like, can I just smell it really quick? They're like, what? And I'm like, do you want to see how bad it smells if I want to wear it or not?
Yeah.
Okay, so the girl that just loves spinning the Price is Right wheel, that loves reading obits, but also smelling mascot costumes.
Made her own Plinko.
I sound strange.
Plays.
I would like to defend you, but the smelling of a mascot costume is a hard one to defend.
Well, I had to know.
So you'd go up to like Nanook and Punter and be like,
Yeah.
just give
And
Ashley a
I'd
whiff.
kind of be like,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, no.
Oh, yeah,
and
they
I'd
reek.
ask around too. I'd be like, which costume smells the least bad? And they'd be like, oh, they all smell really bad, Ash. Really, really bad. They're like, wait till there's a new costume that comes out.
Which are not cheap, those
Oh, they're
costumes.
expensive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have you ever worn a mascot costume?
No.
You still
waiting.
haven't. Okay.
Still waiting.
Our costume has
It's
only
very
been
clean.
worn, I think, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So it's very clean. Very hot inside. It gets very hot
Gets on
inside.
there. There's a fan, I think.
But it's there if you ever want to live your dream. I will just say that.
I know.
Ashley Callingbull at the second annual EST golf tournament. Where's Ashley? Oh, she's over there. And it's the mascot walking around.
Why is she having the best time? She's golfing.
Yeah. As the mascot.
Oh, that'd be great. Golf as Smash Smash.
Hey.
Hey, it'd be it's you know how they have the Beat the Pro on
Yeah.
the par 3s?
Yeah, yeah.
Beat the Smash Smash.
Beat Smash Smash.
She could be.
That'd
Do you
be
golf?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice. How good?
Not that good.
Okay, so
But
you're
you're
like
out
you're
there.
like any golfer.
Fluky. It's very fluky.
So you're like every golfer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's honest.
Mhm.
Outside of the really, really good ones.
I go for fun.
It is
obviously.
fun.
It is. It's a good
I
social
can't play
sport.
with people that are very serious about it. And I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, well, why did you invite me? I'm like, I'm not very good.
Yeah, I
I'm
have to
like,
be able to
best
read the
ball?
group.
Best
Yeah.
ball, everyone?
Best ball, yeah.
Well, actually, I
those
do
people
like
can be
playing the best
buzzkills.
ball and stuff.
Yeah.
My buddies and I will sometimes go just to be like, yeah, let's go play today.
Mm-hmm.
Best ball.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
Yeah.
See how low we can go together.
Yeah. That makes sense.
We like playing in our tournaments.
You would love a college football game, I think. Especially like, I
I
mean, there's,
think so.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I forgot what they call it, but in Washington, Seattle, they do the tailgating on the boat. Some of it's on the boats in the harbor. I forgot what they were because it's not tailgating, sailgating. I think
Sailgating.
That's cool.
that's a fun one.
That'd be all right.
Yeah, the college atmosphere is a lot of fun, and the game's just great, and they're into it.
That's what I got to see.
Yeah, the game experience I think would probably be a little bit better than the NFL.
That's what everyone says. They say it's a way better experience just because of the vibe, everything that's going on.
You have the
Mhm.
student
the
sections
fans, yeah.
that are
Mhm.
going.
And they have so much more going on than just like the game, the entertainment and whatnot. I just want to go. Don't know anybody, but I want to go.
It's doable. It's
Yeah.
very doable. The best one I went to one in Vegas. It was so.
UNLV?
I went to UNLV
That'd be
BYU
fun
game.
still watching the Running Rebels.
Yeah, but it was like a 35,000 seat stadium.
Mhm.
There was like 20,000 people there, so half empty. UNLV was so bad, and it was mostly BYU fans. And we were there for a bachelor party. So and the brother of the groom bought 20 seats in the BYU section, and there was no lines for drinks. I'm like, why isn't there anybody getting drinks? And then they're like, you're sitting in the BYU section. I'm like, what does that mean? And then like, oh, Mormon. I'm like, oh, I had no idea that that's what it was, but they tolerated us. It was a good time. We made our own fun. However, when I was in Oklahoma City, we went to Notre Dame against OU, and there was like 90-year-old ladies that had season seats since they were like 10 years old, and they would do all the chants. They would sing the fight song. Every time there was a kickoff, it'd be like, oh, you, and you point your finger in the air, and they were doing it, and they're like, we've been coming to games since like the 40s and the 30s, and we're like, yeah, they're just very dialed in. You're right. It's very much atmosphere and tradition and stuff like that. Yeah, you'd like it.
That's what I felt when I went to my first NFL game. I went and sat just wherever, and the people that were there have obviously season ticket holders. They all felt like they made you feel like family, right? Like, oh, you're a part of us now. That's what's really cool about it, about that sports environment, is people welcoming you in and having a good time regardless, but seeing the tradition of it all. And I'm like, wow, it's actually pretty badass.
You were courtside at Raptors like recently, a couple of times, weren't you?
Mhm.
That's got to be a pretty cool experience.
Yeah. Who was it that fell on my hand? His ass was in my hand. I can't remember. But yeah,
What team?
you're so close that, for the Raptors. But you're so
Okay.
close. It's like there's so many times where you got to really keep your eye on what's
Yeah.
going on.
Did you squeeze his bum?
Yeah. He fell in. I was pushing him away.
Oh, right.
But yeah, that's a really cool experience too, is being courtside. Nothing like that, like seeing everything that close.
I got lucky to do it once at a Raptors game years ago, and I do say it's like you obviously like Lakers game where all the stars are. You're not getting courtside at Lakers, but if you could find a way to get courtside for an NBA game, pay that one time experience and do it. It's cool. It's
It
fun.
is.
Well, yeah. Like, and okay, so you're obviously like, you're well known around here across the country. So do they come to you and be like, hey, Ashley, we got courtside seats. just put on your best Raptors gear and have fun? Like, is that how it works?
How that happened was like, yeah, they reached out and they're like, would you like to come out? We want to celebrate you and kind of honor you here. And I was like, okay. And then we just make connections when you're there. So I know everyone there that works there. They're like, whenever you want something, they're like, just send me a text.
Jeez,
And I'm like,
that's the best.
sweet.
White Lotus
Sweet.
premieres courtside at the Raptors.
Yeah.
That was a cool weekend.
Was it all the same weekend?
No, I think
Oh.
but I was at 2 premieres that weekend too for the Raptors. There was at 2 different premieres. Or
Jeez.
something. It was a good weekend.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Squeezing players'
Little bit.
bums.
No, he fell.
Oh, he fell on her
Fell into my
hand.
Fell.
hand.
Yeah,
Which
sorry.
you can't do much
Apologies.
about that.
Mhm.
He fell.
Scotty Barnes.
Was that who it was?
Yeah.
Oh, Scotty
Just
Barnes.
remembered.
She was just helping him get up.
yeah.
What kind of Raptor fan would she be if she just sat there?
Exactly.
She's a nice
Just help
Canadian
him.
girl.
He needs to get back up,
Yeah.
and you've
He
got
needed
to
that
push. And there's nothing else he could do with it. She could do with the
Nothing
hand because he's
wrong
on
with
it.
she squeezed.
So she went like this, and you got to get that power
More than
behind
okay.
it.
Power behind it.
You need to get there. Like
Yeah.
what else?
Encourage your team.
You were being just a true Raptors fan in
Yeah.
that moment.
I think I
And
helped them.
That's
They
Absolutely.
won
They
because
did
they-
because they don't do that very
That
often.
push, right?
Yeah.
One push they needed.
that you pushed the
needed you.
Raptors to a victory. That's all that needs to
Literally.
be said. Yeah,
Literally.
Well done, Ashley. Round of clicks for
Round
Ashley
of
on that
clicks,
one.
yeah.
Good job.
She
That's
did
as it should be done. That's one thing about the Elks that I'm hoping it keeps growing because they're trying to build that atmosphere around their games, and the tailgating has slowly gone better. And last year, there's some people that go around the Canadian Football League and they said the Elks tailgate now is the best in the Canadian Football League. So hopefully they can get some wins now on the field.
Yeah.
And then they can bring it
changes
inside.
everything.
It doesn't.
Totally.
Like you were the host through some tough years. Tough years.
I remember the first year they didn't win any games.
Yeah.
And then I remember
It's hard to get a crowd going when
but I
we're
did my
losing
job.
again.
Yes, you
I
did.
did my job. I had a great time. I was still having fun. But then I remember when they won their first game after I don't even
was
know
like
how many
22.
days. What was over 1,000?
It was 1,000
Yeah.
days.
2019.
I guess it made history for
It's the longest losing streak in North American sports.
Yeah.
something like that.
Which also, though, the flip side is they do also have the longest playoff streak in North
Correct.
American sports.
Yes.
So they have the greatest of the good. They also have the greatest of
It's all about
the bad.
balance.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
We can't be
Yeah.
that great.
When they
we have
won
to give it back.
that first game, it was almost like they won the Grey Cup.
You saw someone crying.
I saw a lady crying in her seat when they won that game.
Really?
Yeah, and she was like tears of joy, and I'm like, wow.
Especially the season ticket holders, they were just like, they were so happy. That's why it felt like they won the Grey Cup. And I was like, wow. And I don't know, it felt really good. It was like, we are the champions, my friends.
It's those little
Start the
victories in here.
parade, you guys.
I just am blown away by your singing voice. You should have been the lead singer of the band, not the
know.
triangle
You didn't have to.
girl.
She could have done.
I
She
could
could
have
have
done
been
the anthem. Just not the American one right now.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't want to get that one.
Tuffy.
But no, like she could have been the first. Like some singers also do guitar. She could have been the first singer triangleist or
Triangle.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ting,
Ding,
ting.
sing, and ding, ding.
Can we clarify something? When you hit that triangle, did you also say ting at the same time?
No,
Oh,
but in my
thank God.
mind, I was like, ting. Oh, don't forget. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's almost me. And
She
then
reads
they look at
obits
me,
in between
ting, ting.
until the end of
Yeah.
the song. That's how she distracted herself till the end.
Very unique
Let me look at the
artist.
new obit. Oh,
Wow. Well, some of those obits motivated me, you know? I'm like, if they can do that, I can do this.
Yes.
look at where they are.
I knew this was going to be a good show
Just
today.
thinking of things to add to my obit. I'm like, well, I did the Amazing Race, all this stuff. To whatever racers out there reading my obit, this is for you.
I'm here to inspire the next generation of obit readers.
Never thought I'd hear
The
that.
ones ahead of me inspired me. Now I'm here to inspire you.
It's that ripple effect. What's your legacy going to be?
That's how the obit's gonna end. What's
is the question, people? What? Or just ... cliffhanger.
and then it's the ghost of Ashley is living somewhere else.
On the 8th floor.
That's how we bring it all
Right.
around.
Oh, full circle.
The official drink of the EST Hangout, which we haven't had any of yet today. It is the Finnish
Surprisingly.
long drink, legend in 1952, a drink unlike any other. Sparkling refreshment, real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada is where you can enter your postal code and find a liquor store and establishment nearest you with it in stock. It is also available with their partnership at OEG at Rogers Place. So Oilers Stars tomorrow. You can go grab the long drink while you're there cheering on the Oilers against the Dallas Stars.
Woohoo.
I have a text I want to. I was going to save it for later, but I think it's funny. This one just says, Ashley is by far the guest of the year. # boo bitch.
Actually, yeah, no, you're going into the nominee for Hangout Guest of the Year.
So you want to walk a really sweet red carpet?
Yeah.
We do a awards show called the Estes.
No way.
Seriously.
We did it last year. It's like it was our version of the Oscars type thing. It was full dress up, full like we had a camera.
tie.
It was as close to black tie as we could. Like we didn't actually get full tuxedos. You had the
I
tuxedo.
went with the full tux.
Good. Proud of
No
you
way.
for
I
that
could
one.
wear like an evening gown and my crown and sash.
Yeah. We do it at the Garno
Do I have the
Theater.
photos?
That is insane.
It was.
You know, for whenever I wasn't with my family or if I was with them, we would have Oscar parties.
Really?
So I would actually make videos and awards and give them out to my family.
So does Matthew.
It's so much fun though, because
Yeah, no.
I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, we did like people were dressed up and we had like full
black
trophies.
tie.
Yeah.
Like we had a couple musical performances. We're at the Metro
God.
Theater.
Eric
That's
wore a top
legit.
hat. Yeah.
We kept it tight. It was a 2-hour show.
yeah.
Gave away a bunch of awards. We had Hangout Guest of the Year.
Yes.
I think this is going to be the
this
nominee for Hangout Guest of the Year and Hangout of the Year.
It might be.
Those
yeah.
two will be in there. So
Love
congratulations,
that. Thank
you're in that.
I'm already nominated.
You're going to be part of that.
Nominee.
We'll see if you can get the winner. Mitchie_R says, please get Ashley on as a more regular guest.
Ashley's a busy
She's a
girl,
busy
but
girl.
we'd be happy to.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
She could inform us on the latest with the obits.
Yeah.
You guys will
yes.
not guess.
You will not guess who died.
Like, you should hear this story.
You won't believe what this lady did.
It was just crazy though, some of them. I'm like, Dad, this girl like escaped the Holocaust and did this and that. And I was like, what a hero. And my dad's like, really? Let's check it out.
That's legit.
I'm like, yeah, I was inspired by them, you know? Inspired to keep going.
Whatever it takes.
Hey.
Whatever it
Hey,
takes.
That's right. Whatever, #whatever it takes. The guest or hangout of the year last year, you'd be in great company if you win this year's SD for it. Jonathan Torrens and Alice Moran. They won it last year. They were here for the Stanley Cup Finals or playoffs, and we had them on location from our amenities floor right outside the arena ice district. Have you ever met Jonathan Torrens? Remember Jonovision?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's J-Rock and Trailer Park Boys.
Yep.
He's hilarious. And Alice, she's a comedian as well, but she does some CBC stuff out of Toronto. She was dirtier and raunchier than he was. And it was like, it was this show in this hour of the day. Like it was, we just sat there and listened to them and we're like, oh my God. Like
I love that.
it was awesome. This probably is right up there for show of the year, I think.
Thank you.
I'll be part of it.
Thank you
I
very
think
much.
so.
I'll have to make sure to add it to the nominations after.
Elvis over here.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Thank you very much.
We've got Elvis, we had Gollum. All sorts
She's
of different
got
appearances.
so many different personalities.
What a range.
Oh my God. If you guys saw the back of my vehicle, my Jeep, one of my friends, I was driving them around. I opened the back of my vehicle to grab something. She's like, what the hell is going on in your back of your vehicle? I was like, what do you mean? Because I had like a cowboy hat, boots, a Yoshi costume, Bowser, all this random stuff. And she's like, what is all this stuff for? For all your personalities? I was like, yeah. No,
A
I do
Yoshi
a lot of
costume.
random things.
Yoshi's the best.
Yeah. I was driving around town wearing that because I went to visit a girl at the cancer center there.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
That's a nice thing.
So
Yeah.
I told her next time we play Mario Kart, I was like, we have to have matching costumes. And she didn't know which ones we were getting. So I just showed up at the house like that. And she just like was laughing so hard. Like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, I was getting weird looks driving around Edmonton in a big Yoshi costume.
There's weirder things on the roads than that, but that's got to be up there.
That's why you're doing the double check if you're driving
like-
along. You're like, what?
And I'm just like,
Yoshi is the best character.
yes.
There's no one better.
100%.
Thank you. I got into this battle at the old place. Me and this Warren.
From the bear.
He hates Yoshi.
Why?
Because he's an idiot. I'll say that to Warren. He's an idiot. I'll text him that later.
Is he listening right now? He might be.
He I have a Yoshi shirt, and anytime I wear it, he'd get mad. And that's actually
who's he a fan of though? Who's he?
Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong was better in his eyes.
It's okay.
I did two different Twitter polls on who's better, and it was like by far Yoshi.
Yoshi.
How can you hate Yoshi?
Because Warren's
Warren.
Yeah. Actually, so last year we have a club, the Nasty Club, like a membership thing, and he's in on it. And last year when I mailed out his package, I put a picture of Yoshi right open. So as soon as he opened, it was just Yoshi right there.
Yoshi wrapping
He wasn't
paper.
happy. He didn't enjoy that. I enjoyed it though, because Yoshi's the best.
Okay, I have a question. Speaking of Ashley showing up to hang out with a girl wearing a Yoshi costume and playing Mario Kart. I would imagine like that's got to be pretty cool and fulfilling to do stuff like that and be in the community when you can.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine you also get weird stuff from people too. Like, yeah. Like,
oh yeah.
do you have any good stories about weird stuff that people have sent you?
I get jail mail.
That's why I asked. Because I remember when I anchored sports at CTV, the ladies there would get jail mail.
Yeah, and it's because no one knows where I live, right? So they will just send it to Enoch Post Office, which is where I'm from, Enoch Cree Nation.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll mail it to the Enoch Cree Nation Post Office, and then the post office people will be like, "Oh, well, we'll put it in her mom's mailbox." And then my mom will be like, "Ash, you got jail mail." Just like, holy shit. Some of them are really inspiring. Some of them are scary. Some of them are funny. And then I'm just like surprised they even know
you
who
look
I
at them.
am. Oh yeah.
You don't-
So curious.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with like Dateline and stuff. So like I love reading stuff like that. I'm like, God, it's just crazy. But yeah, I've seen people have like tattoos of me all over their bodies and stuff. Like a guy has
Whoa.
That's
my
gotta be
full
weird.
face on his back. Like I've seen so many people with my face tattooed on their bodies. Like it's normal. Like lots.
Is that weird?
At first I thought it was weird. I was thinking like, oh my God. But then some of them are really bad. And I'm like, it's not a good one. But then some are really good where I'm like, that's actually really good. But then I start to think like, are these people in like, yeah, I know they like me and whatnot, but what if, I'm not saying I'm gonna be, but what if I ended up being a serial killer or something? And then they just got this serial killer.
So you're gonna stay good because of those people's body, those tattoos.
Now I can't.
I can't change. I gotta stay as a good person
I
because
gotta stay.
what's gonna happen to their tattoos?
Yeah, I gotta
give
stay
the
on the right-
tattoos.
You can't live with that burden.
Gotta stay on the right path, you know? My old bit ain't reading like that. Shit. But yeah, like I'm so used to like, you know, people being weird or whatever, having weird messages and stuff. Like that's normal, but nothing too crazy. Some crazy things, but you know.
Not fit for air.
Yeah,
That's a yes. That's
Probably not.
That's a long.
Probably not.
Probably not.
or people just being like really obsessive or just crazy. But that's
I could see that.
that's normal. But like everyone's pretty kind to me. I've met some great people who are like super fans and stuff that show up all the time at the same things, but they're not scary. But yeah, I even have like I have murals of myself in different cities. Like there's a huge mural of me in Calgary, and I didn't realize like there was these things until people start sending me pictures, and I kind of realized like, oh wow, like I must really have an impact on people for them to paint and then also tattoo their bodies. Like that's
Like your reach is pretty massive if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
With everything that you've done.
Well, I think too, because I'm in different spaces.
Mhm.
It's not just like, you know, sports stuff, acting, modeling, but the pageant world, people don't know this, but the pageant world is like big as like the sports world. Like how people are soccer fanatics, pageant people are like that. They're like pageant fanatics. Like it's its own world. So yeah. It's
How big was doing swimsuit issue? Like
yeah.
SI.
Yeah, that was probably one of the coolest things I've
Yeah?
ever done. I'm doing another video submission for them, so fingers crossed. But like, yeah, that was really cool. I was also the first Native woman ever be a Sports Illustrated model.
Right,
That
yes.
never would have thought that, but I actually just applied myself.
Okay.
I didn't like wait for a casting or anything. I went out and submitted myself, did like a video and photos and everything, and told them what I stand for. And then they responded to that. And then I ended up being like in the magazine, doing a shoot in Dominican Republic. And
That's huge.
yeah. And I remember it came out in the news that I was chosen. And while I was there, it was just out in the news. And I'm about to do my shoot. And this couple walks by and they're wearing Saskatchewan shirts. So I was like, oh, prairie people? I was like, prairie people? And they looked at me, they're like,
My people.
Hey, wait, you're Ashley. They're like, you were just on the news. They're like, are you shooting that right now? And it was just like really cool. I was like, shh, not allowed to say. Not allowed to say.
That
In
was
a
huge
good
too.
way, do you feel that you carry the weight of being a Native person? Like that you get to spread.
I'm trying to do my best,
Yeah.
right? Like it's a lot of responsibility
Mhm.
to be the first person to do this, first person to do that. It's a lot of responsibility because a lot of people, when they think of, or people ask, they're like, who's the Native person that does this or does that? And then some people will be like, oh, Ashley, you know, they'll think of me for something. And it could be really heavy, like trying to
Okay.
be a role model for everyone.
Yeah.
And but I have to realize I can't make everyone happy. That's what I learned about my life is I can't try to people please everyone. I got to make myself happy because there's always going to be someone that's unhappy with the way that you're living your life.
Mhm.
But that's probably the hardest part is, you know, just trying to keep sane in a crazy
But to be the
world.
first for some of those things, that's got to feel pretty good to
It feels
break that barrier. Be the one to
amazing.
get
Yeah,
through.
It's still like shocking to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still kind of laugh about it. Like even with my sister, I'm like, oh my God, like can't believe a girl from the Res won Miss Universe Canada and just went to like Miss Universe all resi. I was just like, that's so wild. I was like,
But you did it.
like I did it and it's never happened before. And I'm just thinking like, wow, now that I did it, like there's gonna be another. Like, and I also like mentor different girls in the pageant world, like just voluntarily,
Mhm.
and they're making history too. So I'm not just the only Native girl now. Like there's another girl, Emma Morrison. She's the first Native Miss World Canada. She's going to Miss World this year,
Wow.
so she's making history. The
Cool.
Native girl competing for Miss Earth, and she's Native. There's like 3 major Native title holders in Canada, but no one even knows about it. But yeah, it's crazy. We're taking over now. Native girls are taking over.
In your life so far, has there been the one moment that stands above all else? You're like, I can't believe this is happening to me right now. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Wow, there's a lot of things. One time, let's say 2 things.
'Kay.
So, like Miss Universe was amazing and whatnot, but I think it was when I was at Cannes Film Festival. I was promoting like my independent film, and I didn't realize how big Cannes was.
Yeah.
Until I'm walking the red carpet, and I was at the Martin Scorsese film premiere, the world premiere for Killers of the Flower Moon. So it was the world premiere, like Leonardo's there, Robert De Niro, like everyone. And I even went to the after party, which was invite only. And it like everyone's like shoulder to shoulder. Everyone you knew when you walked in that room, every face was recognizable.
Jeez.
Wow.
Like it was insane. There was a part in the night where I was like standing in the circle, and I remember there was like me, Martin Scorsese, Kate Blanchett, Salma Hayek, Jeff Bezos. Oh, what's that guy's name? John C. Reilly, and Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm missing somebody here. But we were all just standing there having a conversation, and then I had to like kind of look around. I was like, "What crap? Is this like my life right now?" Like, this-
Yes.
like this is crazy. But no one was going around taking pictures. Like it was very private because that's how they wanted to, you know. And I thought this is really cool. It's like about who you make connections with and who you meet. Like I thought that was really really cool to be seen in that space, and because it's so hard to get there. But I think one of the coolest things is what I'm up to now. I just signed like my first book deal with HarperCollins Publishing.
Oh, nice.
Congrats.
So I'm coming out.
Round of clicks. All
I'm
right.
coming out with my first book this year. I'm going to be going on like book tours, and it's like an autobiography on my life. They want to know it from the very beginning to like now. So it goes into like detail of like everything that I had to overcome, like resiliency, perseverance, how I had to start over, culture, like everything in
Mhm.
deep detail. But that was really cool. Was I didn't know how impactful my story was because like I know who I am, but I don't know how much it affects other people until I hear it from them. But walking into the office and then it's saying like, welcome Ashley Callingbull. And then walking into a separate room, a meeting room, when they're like, this is your entire team to help you share who you are. And I thought, wow, they're like, we all believe in you and this, and that made me feel like, oh my God, like people believe in me so much that they want me to share a piece of myself with the world. And then that's when at that moment I was like, my mom was like, you should feel really proud of yourself to where you got yourself. She's like, you're able to share, who you are and what got you there. And I'm like, so that was really, kind of like, oh my God, like my story matters.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
It's like, that's where it felt like really surreal. I was like, oh my God, like I'm going to have a book tour and everything. And people already kind of reaching out, trying to turn it into a series. A movie. People are saying this would make an amazing series or a movie. They're like, you're still young enough to play yourself. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm young forever.
That is awesome. If people want to follow more about what you're up to, what you're going on, how could people?
You can follow me on Instagram, just my name, Ashley Callingbull. I always go like this, Callingbull, so people know how to say it. It's not Coll. Not Collingwood, it's Callingbull. Yeah. Instagram, all my socials, I have pretty much everything, but my website shares everything, www.ashleycallingbull.com, and then you'll be able to follow me on everything.
Good work.
I did it.
Thank you for coming in. Really appreciate it. This was a fun hangout.
Yeah, this was awesome.
It's gonna go in.
I love it. We got to talk about ghosts.
Yes. Elvis,
Zombies, Elvis,
Gollum, White Lotus.
White Low.
Oh, we were all over the place.
Yeah,
so college
that's the
football,
beauty of this show.
NBA. We
Yeah.
got everywhere. Thank you again, Ashley.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Lock Shop, Two Guys and a Goalie, EST Afternoons, Reed Wilkins Show. That's all to come here on EST. On behalf of Ashley, Tommy, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the EST Hangout live on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Lock Shop, just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go.
There you go, right in front of the camera.
First time guest, long time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with here. Joining us today,